What's up, everybody? I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And welcome back to another episode of This Freakin' Show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. Guys, if you remember a couple weeks ago, we had the new host of the Freaknet Studios podcast, Pretty Little Freaks, here with us. Joe, you remember him.
I do. They were great.
Jordan and Lo. Awesome, funny people. Crazy to think, two different people, but very similar in personalities.
That's true.
Yeah, thanks for the response, Joe.
Yep. I'm still getting used to, you want me to respond when you take a pause.
Yeah. I mean, after 5 years, we're starting to kind of get that concept going here.
Yeah.
But guys, the reason I bring them up and I mention them is because, it's been a process getting them up and going. Now, they have released their first episode this past Monday. Their next episode will release, the Monday, so on and so forth. And, they're going to be just like This Freakin' Show, just like JFW. 50 episode seasons. Really excited to move forward with it. Episode 1 is available. The cool thing is, it got set up so quickly that they are available on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify currently. All you gotta do is search Pretty Little Freaks and, it'll pop up.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was one of the things, like, when I created the Podbean to get it up and running, I tried to get to Google Play and iTunes, like, right away, but you have to have an episode released in order for it to happen. Now Spotify is really easy to do. Spotify, you just set it up and it's like, in 15 minutes you're up and ready to go on Spotify. They don't give a shit who they put up there. Google Play and iTunes, they want to sit there and, check it out and make sure everything's okay and cool like that and whatever. It was the process that I got done. So, Pretty Little Freaks is available on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean. Just gotta search Pretty Little Freaks. And as mentioned, Pretty Little Freaks is part of Freaknet Studios, alongside This Freakin' Show, which is hosted by Cartoon Joe and Travesty. Also, JFW, hosted by Dizzle J, Dally, and Travesty. And Doug Gray Area, hosted by Sarge. Joe, if you remember, we do have another huge announcement to make. If you remember it, do you want to do it?
I don't remember it.
Excellent. I'm going to do it again, and hopefully you get surprised for the second time.
Great.
This Freakin' Show has a brand new logo.
That's right! Oh, I'm so excited about it.
Right?
Yes.
So, I put it together. It's nothing like extravagant and like really out there. It's
real classy.
Yeah, it's kind of simple, and you know what? It's something new. I know we wanted a new, logo, and, we're actually looking at a new Ripley Street theme song for season 4. Now, the theme song is kind of on the back burner for right now. Working with Ripley Street to kind of get that all figured out. But we finally got the new logo. It is going to get released, today. Get released during this episode. You're going to see it as a display picture for the podcast. It's going to be uploaded on our social media over the weekend. And Monday, I believe that's May 11th. Yeah.
Yep.
Monday, May 11th, we're going to release the merchandise with the new This Freakin' Show logo into our TeePublic. So make sure you check out TeePublic, TeePublic.com, search TFS. You're going to see the new This Freakin' Show logo. That's going to be available on all the merchandise we have available. T-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, tank tops, phone cases, laptop cases, pillows, tapestries, posters, pins, magnets, stickers, coffee mugs, traveler's mugs. Joe, you going to say something?
I was going to say, it looked good on a hat. It looked good on a mask. You could wear it on your ass. Right. We don't care. It looks great. It's a great logo.
Way to go, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, thank you. Wear it on a fox with a box. Wear it on your box. I don't know.
Wear it on your box. Excellent.
Said what I said.
Right. Lingerie coming soon.
Sorry.
One cool thing about
I just pictured like a pair of underwear with one of our faces on it.
Right? God,
oh, Lord.
Oh, God.
I will spice up the bedroom in a bad way.
One of the cool things about TeePublic, guys, is when we release a new design for our merchandise, there is I believe it's a 72-hour period where it is on sale for about 30% off. So, hopefully you catch this show as it releases. Hopefully you kind of check it out. We will post on social media when the merchandise is available. And this way you could hopefully buy our merchandise with the new logo on it, with the discounted price for the next 72 hours when we drop it on Monday. So, all the sales to the merchandise and everything does help out the podcast. So we do appreciate the merchandise you guys, do buy from us. And not to worry, all the original This Freakin' Show logos are still going to be there. We did update the, Secret Society themed logo. For This Freakin' Show. It is available in a white font now, so you could get it on darker colors. I know the old logo was really hard to see on black and everything. Now, that's a little bit difficult to do on TeePublic because they don't change font colors. So when you buy something that has black font with black clothing, it doesn't show up that well. I know a buddy of mine had an issue with that in one of his merchandise sweatshirts he bought. So I do apologize if that happened to him. It did get fixed and adjusted for him because TeePublic really does work with the customers when things don't work out well for them. And that's what I really love about working with them. So the Secret Society logo's there. The past logo we used before this one with the This Freakin' Show over the microphone is still there as well. Plus the original Cartoon Joe. I guess technically it'd be Kick-Ass Joe created that logo with the red shirt.
That's true.
Because Cartoon Joe didn't show up until season 4.
That's true. Didn't exist yet.
That's right, man. You're like the three faces of Foley, man.
What?
Oh my god, Mick Foley. Mankind, Dude Love, Cactus Shack, Wrestling.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Different podcast.
Nice.
Super excited, guys. Again, TeePublic, TeePublic.com. Search TFS. Check out the new logo as it hits the market on Monday, and make sure you check out all the other logos and stuff. And also the JFW stuff will be there as well if you want to check that out. And again, check out Pretty Little Freaks podcast, which is available again on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify just by searching Pretty Little Freaks. And if you want to check out the other podcasts that are part of FreakNet Studios, all you got to do is go to freaknetstudios.com, and links to all of those podcasts are available right there for you.
Nice.
Yeah. How you doing, Joe?
I'm pretty well.
You doing good?
Yeah. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm doing okay. Not a whole lot going on. Working and stuff like that. I did hear a possibility of actually getting hired on soon, so hopefully that happens.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. And I do want to kind of talk about our personal lives a little bit later. I do want to talk a little bit about the COVID stuff, obviously, to kind of give an update on what I've been hearing as far as Illinois. But we do have an exciting thing that we're going to do for the episode today. I want to make sure we have enough time to do it. So we're going to dive into that right after we do our next segment of That Freakin' Happened.
Perfect.
So go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I've noticed has been spoken about a lot in this whole COVID situation is the need to support the Postal Service. And, so I just thought that was interesting. And I found out that today, May 8th, as we record, in 1794, oh boy, that doesn't match with the, it doesn't matter. 1794, May 8th, it says here, the U.S. Postal Service, or Post Office was established. Now, if you go to Wikipedia, it actually says, it was signed into law. Oh, the Postal Service Act was signed into law. 2 years earlier, on February 20th, by President George Washington. But it was, officially opened, in 1794. So, that's pretty cool. It's a great institution. It's actually, I didn't know this, and I don't know which part of the Constitution is written into, but as I understand it, the Constitution actually establishes a national post, which is cool. It's just interesting. It's a great service that our country provides, and I hope that we see it succeed and continue to grow in the future.
Nice.
Yeah. So, big fan of the Postal Service, me.
Right. Was that rain, sleet, dark at night, or some shit like that?
Yep. Yeah, it's very close to the Green Lantern creed, I think. Brightest day, darkest night.
Excellent. Green Lantern. USPS.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
How about you? What do you got for us?
May 5th, 1968. The McDonald's Big Mac hamburger makes its nationwide debut with its two all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun. It was created by a Pittsburgh McDonald's franchisee the previous year. It originally went by the name The Aristocrat and the Blue Ribbon Burger, both of which did poorly in the marketplace, finally settling on the name Big Mac.
Nice. Great sandwich.
I grown to appreciate the Big Mac more as I got older.
Right? Yeah. I agree. I think about the guy in Super Size Me who has eaten thousands of them over the course of his life and is still thin as a rail.
Well, he's my hero.
Yeah, right?
I love that man.
He's amazing. I'm very impressed by him.
One of the cool things, and I know I mentioned it a few times over this past quarantine coronavirus situation. Game On Bar and Grill here in my hometown. They actually have a burger. It's called the Patty Mac, which is basically their version of a Big Mac. So it's pretty cool that they have something like that. And just like McDonald's, it's mostly lettuce.
Perfect.
Not saying it's bad. It's just
there.
Mostly lettuce. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I believe it also comes on a bed of lettuce.
Oh.
Yeah. So. Nice. This episode of This Freakin' Show is brought to you by BallWash.com. Now, it's no secret that the man's most prized possession also happens to be the most sensitive part of his body. Balls are prone to sweat, odor-causing bacteria, and irritation. Upgrade your balls game with quality products formulated to keep your skin healthy and fresh. Guys, that is where BallWash.com comes in. Go to BallWash.com right now, check out the variety of products they have, as well as kits and subscriptions they have available for you. And when you hit that checkout button and you go to pay for that order, make sure you use the promo code FREAKNET, that's FREAKNET, at checkout. It will save you 15% on your entire order. That's right, ballwash.com. When it comes to your sack, they got your back. Joey, we talked a little bit last week about what we wanted to do for this episode. And with everything going on, I don't think a lot of people acknowledge the fact that Black Widow is actually supposed to come out last week. The movie Black Widow, starring Scarlett Johansson, was supposed to come out last week.
That is true, and I had totally forgotten about it.
Right? I think a lot of people have. Now, I do believe it's scheduled to be released in November of this year.
Yep.
So it's going to be at the end of the year. But I guess for the appreciation of the MCU and the fact that every May for the last 5, 6, 7 years, whatever hell it is, you got to go to the theater and enjoy a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So we wanted
highlights of my Mays.
Right. So we wanted to take the opportunity to appreciate the MCU in May as we could have in the last 5 so years by thinking of some of the best moments in movies that relate to the heroes in the movies. But we didn't want to just focus on the greatest Captain America moment in a Captain America movie or Iron Man and Iron Man, Hulk and Hulk, Thor and Thor. We wanted to find the greatest moment of the heroes across the entire MCU, which 22 movies or something like that? 23 movies?
So. Yeah. I believe so. Yeah.
So what me and Cartoon Joe did is we went ahead and made a list of a select few of the heroes. It's a lengthy list, and we tried to get the main focused heroes on the list. Now, obviously, there weren't a lot of heroes on that didn't make it. We're not going to talk about War Machine, Scarlet Witch. I don't believe Vision and stuff like that. But we are going to focus on the main, obviously Avengers and some of the other big pop-ups like Spider-Man, Nick Fury, and stuff like that.
Right.
So, oh jeez. And, Guardians of the Galaxy, we went ahead and made it as a group, not just one individual.
Right.
So, Joey, since I'm talking and you're not, I'm going to let you go ahead and talk next. And, why don't you go ahead and pick somebody that, you want to start with. Tell us the movie and the moment that, really caught your eye. You can start with anyone you want.
Perfect. I am going to start with the Hulk,
okay.
who is my personal favorite Avenger.
Okay.
I've always loved him. I've always identified with the Hulk because I see myself as an intelligent person with anger issues. And so I've always identified with him. He's always been my fave. And, my absolute favorite moment, and it feels like such a lame thing to do to skip right to the end, but in Endgame, when we first see, Smart Hulk, I think is how they decided to call him in the MCU. That was my favorite moment. Him showing up, in that diner and he's just, taking pictures with kids and he's wearing that cardigan, which I think I have almost the exact same cardigan at home that I wear around a lot. And, I just love that so much. I've been waiting for about a decade to see Smart Hulk on film. And it was such a great moment for me. I loved it so much. It made me so happy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else I want to say about it. That's my moment.
Oh, nice. Okay. My favorite Hulk, scene. I'm kind of on the same path that you are, Joe. I've never been a huge Hulk fan per se, but I do like what Mark Ruffalo did with the character.
Mm-hmm.
So my scene is from Endgames, and it's debuting of Smart Hulk at the diner. And shit you not, same scene that you chose.
Nice.
And the disclaimer, kind of like when we talk about That Freakin' Happened, we don't talk about these lists beforehand. So if we have duplicates, it just happens.
Oh yeah.
And it's just ironic that you happen to pick this one because I'm gonna assume this might be the only duplicate we have. Actually, no, I'm gonna predict Captain America is the same.
Yeah, probably. It probably is.
But no, I like the Hulk scene, and my favorite part of it was when Ant-Man wanted the picture too, and Hulk was like, come on, get a picture with him. You want a picture? I loved how it was Hulk as Mark Ruffalo.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Absolutely. Oh, delightful.
Alright, I want to go with, the next one for me, I want to go with Black Widow.
Okay.
And my favorite scene, comes from Iron Man 2 when she made, her debut into it. But, the scene where she was going through, Hammer's, facility and taking out all of those, guards when Happy was still battling with the one.
Yep.
To kind of really show how much of a badass, this is the first time we saw how much of a badass Black Widow is in the MCU. So that was my favorite Black Widow scene.
That was the one I was going to pick, but I have a backup, and that is in Civil War when she decided to help Cap and his group escape.
Right
after the parking lot fight.
With the Black Panther, when she shot the tasers at Black Panther.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I love her character because she's always torn between doing what's right and doing what she needs to. She's a, I don't know the actual technical term, but she works for S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know if she's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think she is an agent
or a spy or whatever it is. But in the end, she always does what's right for the people in her life. And it's proven in the scene that you picked where she pretty much betrayed S.H.I.E.L.D. and Black Panther stuff to allow Cap and Winter Soldier to make their escape. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was a great moment. And she gets a lot. She is in many of the movies the emotional scene of the Avengers, or not scene, heart, the emotional heart of the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
And that scene in particular really captures that for me. So.
Yeah, I think another scene I would that I liked of hers, it's kind of like a consolation scene. That moment in, oh crap, what was it? Which movie? What the hell movie was that?
What was the scene?
Yeah. It's, I think it was Ultron. Yeah, it was Avengers Ultron, where she had that moment with Banner in the bedroom after the shower.
Yeah. Yep.
When she was talking about, when he was talking about, he can't have kids because of the accident and how she can't have kids because of the schooling, the spy school she went to and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
it gave you a sense of that wasn't Black Widow, it was Natasha.
Right.
And that was a really cool scene too. So
I agree.
it shows how she, even though she grew up the way she was, she's still human. You know, she still has that love that she could feel for somebody, and she still has the ability to be open with them.
Right.
Your turn, man. Who do you want to go to next?
Oh, right. Sorry, let me look at my list here.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, let's do, I feel like I want to save the two big ones for last. Let's go to the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Let's do this. You pick one that we do at the end, and I'll pick one, and then we'll stick to those at the very end. So who would you want to do dead last?
I want to do Iron Man dead last.
Okay, I want to do Captain America dead last. So we'll keep those two for the very end.
Perfect.
All right, Guardians. Who do you have for the Guardians?
So I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't like it. It's actually one of the only movies in the MCU I didn't like the first time I saw it because I just didn't get it. And the second time I went in, I saw it with a little bit more of an open mind, and I really, really loved it. And there's so many scenes that I really enjoy with them. I love their banter. I love the way they become a family throughout the thing. Mm-hmm. But I really think I've got to go with the opening scene of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where Baby Groot is dancing, and they're having the fight in the background. Because that's one of the things I love about the Guardians. The movies aren't really about the fight. The movies are about their relationship as a chosen family. And I just think that scene really captures that in a really hilarious and delightful way.
Yeah, I think Guardians of the Galaxy, when that came around, it brought more comedic relief into the MCU.
Oh, like you always so desperately needed.
Yeah, you always had like some funny scenes here and there, like obviously like in Iron Man and Captain America and stuff like that. But like when you hit like Guardians, Volume 1 and Volume 2, and even Thor Ragnarok, it was more comical than it was like action, but they still made it work.
Yes, I agree. Sorry, I just got a text right then.
How dare you?
Distracted me.
You tell them that we're making podcast gold right now. Alright, for me, when we went to Guardians as a group, I don't know what it is about the scene, but it was the Avengers Infinity War scene when they're going to help, when they got the distress signal from the Asgardians. And they're all singing Rubber Band Man together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's I don't know why, but that's my favorite Guardian scene. A close second was the one where they were on Thanos' home planet, and Iron Man was trying to come together with a plan, and Drax is yawning in the back, mm-hmm. and he's like, Stark asked him, like, what do you guys even do? And Mantis is sitting there like, take names, kick ass, and Drax like, yeah, that's right. Close second, but for some reason, the Rubber Band Man scene, I literally Googled it on YouTube. I looked it up on YouTube and I watched it like 5 times in a row just because I love how much Star-Lord gets into the song. Gamora's just chilling there singing along with him. Groot's playing because it's teenage Groot at that time, just playing his mm-hmm. game. Drax is sleeping, and they get to that part where Rocket's like, why are we doing this again? It's like, because it's a distress signal. He's like, yeah, but why are we doing it? It's like, because we're good, maybe they'll get a little cheddar cheese or something for trouble. And if they don't, we'll just take their ship. Booyah! It's like, I love it. Guardians is one of my favorite groups next to, obviously, X-Men and the Avengers and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure.
And a lot of it has to do with, they're not all the same. Like when you look at X-Men, they're all mutants and stuff. They have different abilities and stuff. Mm-hmm. They're one thing. They're mutants. But when you look at Guardians of the Galaxy, you have a human who were raised by aliens. You have a talking raccoon, a tree, an alien. It's and different, species of aliens. And they just came together and they just have that fucking chemistry that really made the movie great.
Oh yeah.
And across the MCU. And I think they're supposed to be in, I think they're supposed to be in another movie. I think they're supposed to be in that Thor Love and Thunder movie, but I don't think actual Thor's in that. I think it's like Jane Foster, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I think so. I thought Thor was supposed to be in it, but then Jane Foster is supposed to become the new Thor or whatever.
Yeah. I just want to know if it's, the dude Thor or, original Thor.
Right. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. I want to go with Black Panther. My choice for Black Panther is the, Captain America Civil War. They obviously debuted Black Panther. The chase scene with Winter Soldier and Cap.
Oh yeah.
From the point where they escape his apartment to the point where they get caught on the highway. It's just cool because you know Cap is a super soldier. You know, they pretty much amplified all his abilities and stuff like that. But I've never seen him up to that point have the speed and stuff that he was capable of doing.
Right.
And even oh fuck, what was it? The Winter Soldier movie, the Captain America Winter Soldier movie, like when he pretty much jumped out of the elevator and dropped straight down.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you never realize like what he's capable of withstanding.
Right. Right.
So, but that scene, like obviously with Black Panther making his debut and like seeing like how he was going to be in, you know, the MCU, not only then, but in the future, it just shows like how powerful he was going to be. I was like, okay, well that's pretty fucking cool. You got to see the suit and everything and, you know, the claws and all, it's made of vibranium. You know, it's going to be like, you know, powerful and shit like that, but it was such a quick moment. How they debuted him on that roof was really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree. I'm trying to remember. I had it and then it was fleeting for some reason. I think it's at the very end of Black Panther when he is king again. And, there's actually, it's sort of the whole ending of the movie. I love where he has that moment with, boy, now I can't remember his name. Michael B. Jordan's character. Killmonger.
Killmonger, yeah.
God, that's such a stupid name. Sorry. That's why I can't remember it. I was like, no, that wasn't it.
That can't be it.
Right. Anyway, Killmonger. So he has that moment with Killmonger where he brings him up so he can die looking over Wakanda. I love that moment. But then I think even more where he has internalized this lesson from Killmonger where they, as a country, they need to do more to elevate everybody across the planet. And so he takes, his sister to that place, I think it's in Harlem, and wait, is it in Harlem or is it in Oakland?
I want to say it's Oakland.
Yeah, it's Oakland, you're right, to the projects, and he talks about how they're gonna set up this international center. I think that's just, it's to me so him as that particular T'Challa incarnation is so good and so capable of sharing, you know, Wakanda's stuff with the world in a way that makes sense for Wakanda and for the world. I just think it's a great moment. So that's the one I'm going to pick, is right at the end where he's really he's reached the end of the character arc of that movie and he's become the king that he always was meant to be.
Yeah. I like that. No, I think those post-credit scenes, you know, where he's at the United Nations meeting, announcing opening up, and the one guy's like, it's like, what does Wakanda have to offer the world? And he just kind of gives a smirk. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's really cool to see, because I mean, like, it might be a little bit different for me when it is for you. I never really seen a lot of like the Marvel animated like shows and stuff. I don't know if you ever watched like the Black Panther, Spider-Man like cartoons and stuff like that. I just watched.
I've only ever seen Spider-Man and Iron Man. Really. Okay. Well, and Batman, but that's not MCU.
So I never really watched much of that like as a kid. You know, it was mostly just X-Men. So it was a different Marvel
well, I took X-Men for granted. Of course I watched X-Men.
yeah. But it's like, I mean, like you sit there and like, you know that there's like the Amazing Spider-Man cartoons and, I think even that is like where like they had like Punisher in there at some point, and like there was the Hulk movies and it was all of these cartoons and stuff like I never really watched. So I had no frame of reference when it came to like Marvel outside of just knowing the action figures a little bit. You know, like up until a certain point, like I had these 12-inch, action figures that were like, you know, Ghost Rider, Iron Man, Wolverine, Cyclops, stuff like that. I knew the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what the hell Ghost Rider was, but loved Ghost Rider. Huge fan. Top favorite Marvel characters, Ghost Rider and Punisher. That's for me.
Nice.
So these movies were my introduction to these characters. I heard of them as growing up, but never read the comic books, never watched the animated shows of these guys. You know, so I mean, this is my intro to it. So seeing like how the story of Black Panther really is, that's how I learned it. I learned it from Black Panther and I learned it from Civil War. And obviously Infinity Wars and Endgames, you know, with the small parts that they had in those movies. But it was from Civil War and Black Panther that I learned the history of Black Panther and really started appreciating it more. So.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Your turn to pick, Joe.
Let's see. Who am I going to pick? Let's go down to how about Nick Fury?
Okay.
My favorite moment with Nick Fury is, there are so many. I think he's a great character. I love him a lot, but I really love when he shows up at the end of the first Iron Man movie and talks about the Avengers Initiative. Because, I mean, that was Marvel Studios laying their cards on the table and doing something that nobody had ever done before by creating all of these different franchises that connect to a mega franchise. You know, and I just, as a fan of the comic books, as a fan of especially Iron Man stories in the Sunday morning cartoons and stuff, it was so cool to know that eventually we were going to see all 4 Avengers on film, you know, if this movie did well. And so it was really, really exciting for me when he showed up at that moment.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. And Nick Fury is probably the hardest one to really kind of like nail it down because he was in pretty much all the movies.
Oh, for sure.
Whether it been like a post-credit scene or like a small moment within all the movies. For me, I went with Winter Soldier, and it was the scene where he was being attacked by the cops but weren't really cops and had to like make his escape. And
yeah.
Pretty much burned a hole through the truck and through the street, made his way to Cap's house and everything.
Right.
But it was the moment from when, he was parked, got T-boned, and burned a hole through the car to escape. That moment in between there was probably the most action-packed scene you saw with Fury outside of the Captain Marvel movie, where it was more of a 90s, younger Nick Fury, like not so ingrained into S.H.I.E.L.D. as he, you know, is obviously through Iron Man all the way up into, Endgames and stuff like that, but not even Endgames because he really didn't show up. And yeah, well, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed he wasn't part of the Endgames battle at the end.
Yeah.
Anyways, but it was really cool to kind of see, like, you know, like obviously how teched out his car was and like some of the, like how he thought in his head, like, you know, wait till the window gets down to like a critical like 1% before he released, like, you know, he shot back through it. And then, you know, kicked the car into autopilot and took off and shit. So that was a pretty cool scene too. I mean, even like later on when he faked his death and came back and he flipped over his eye patch, which if you've seen Captain Marvel, you know how he got the eye patch.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right.
I want to go with, I'm going to go with Doctor Strange.
Nice.
And, obviously it's from the Doctor Strange, movie. And I went based on humor alone here. I went with the loop time with, Dormammu.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Just how he kept constantly dying until the point where this mega powered creature just got fed up and was like, fine, you win, you know, and there wasn't like a real battle. It was just fucking, Doctor Strange dying repeatedly, you know, accepting that as life to save a planet that he lived on. Just for Dormammu to be like, okay, fine, you know, you win. I'm gone.
Right. Oh, that's great.
That was my favorite.
Man, this is tough for me because I love moments where the character is defined. So I love like when he gets, you know, spiritually knocked on his ass by the previous Sorcerer Supreme, and sees all the world that he didn't know existed. That's an honorable mention. But, I think I've got to go with those. It's that last moment in Endgame, right before the biggest spoiler of all time happens, and he makes eyes with Tony Stark, and he just puts up one finger.
Yes.
I think that moment is so incredible. Because it's everything had to happen the way that it did up to that moment, and then he had to act in order for the end to go the way it was supposed to.
Well, yeah, and he even mentioned it like early on in that battle where Stark went up to him and said, "Hey, you said we won one. Is this it?" And he even said, "If I tell you, it won't happen."
Right.
So it's. I mean, I can't express how much I love Endgame.
It is really good.
I didn't think that anything would beat Infinity Wars, but Endgame really did.
Yeah.
And I think a majority of it, I mean, like, it was really cool to go to the past and kind of see, like, cause not only did they go into the past for the sake of the plotline for the movie, but you got to relive moments from the previous movies.
Right?
You know, I mean, it's like, I mean, it was one of the coolest things, and I'm not sure if this is your Cap, moment or not, it's not mine, but when he's in the elevator and it says Hail Hydra.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
It was, I mean, like, it's cool to kind of, like, relive that. And then they had the comedic relief, like, after he beat himself. He's like, that is America's ass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's...
Yeah, well, and even, like, to go back to the Hulk, when he has to pretend to be angry again.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, but did they also give you those, like, kind of like those moments that you really didn't see in the other movies, like in the first Avengers? After they capture Loki. Well, when they go back, you know, they see the moment with the elevator, and they tell Hulk, you can't come in the elevator, you know, there's a weight limit. So he goes down the stairs. You don't see that in the original Avengers, but they utilize that opportunity to show you additional moments later on.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And it's weird to think that, like, you know, like, Hulk just busts through the door and just knocks Stark on his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Which causes a Tesseract to fly out of his suitcase. Spoilers for who hasn't seen Endgames, but it's been, 2 years? Let it go.
Yeah.
1 year?
I think it's just been one, but still.
Yeah. Then he grabs the Tesseract, jumps up, and then stands up and then vanishes.
Right.
So, a lot of cool fucking moments.
Mm-hmm.
Whose turn is it?
I think you picked Doctor Strange, right?
I did pick Doctor Strange, yeah.
I'll pick... Oh, the thing's getting tight. I'm gonna go for another low-hanging fruit. I'm gonna pick Captain Marvel.
Okay.
I love the moment there's lots of moments with Captain Marvel I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Captain Marvel movie, when she starts to have the final showdown fight, and the No Doubt's Just a Girl starts playing, is one of my all-time favorite music with the, what's happening scenes in the entire MCU. A lot of the MCU, to me, the music is pretty forgettable. Yeah. You know, with the exception of like the big themes. But like, generally speaking, it's so boring musically. And for that one shining moment, it was one of the most interesting combinations of music and film that they've had in 23 movies. And I just loved it. I loved it to pieces. It was great to watch her kick ass. It was great to hear that music. I just loved it all the way through.
Yeah. Captain Marvel and Guardians probably had the best soundtracks out of all of them.
Oh, and Thor Ragnarok too.
They did, yeah. Cause, did they had the Immigrant song or something when he took control of the fucking, lightning and shit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So for me.
Anyway, sorry.
For me, Captain Marvel, and it's like you said, there was a lot of fucking moments. And I was torn between two. There was the scene that I ultimately chose, which, it was the post-credit scene for Captain Marvel where, the pager stopped.
Oh,
and they're wondering, like, what happened? Like, we'll start it back up or something like that. As soon as they turn around, she's standing there.
Mm-hmm.
Which she just, like, poofed up. It's not like she came through the fucking ceiling and made, like, it was just like she was there.
Right.
So that was my choice. My alternative choice was when, her and, what was it, Jude Law?
Mm-hmm.
Where he's making this big speech about them finally like battling it out and everything, and she just fucking hits him like with a beam of light or whatever the fuck you call it.
Yeah.
Like not even to have a fair fight, because like at that point he didn't deserve to have a fair fight with her.
Right.
And shit. Like, you know, he holsters his gun and gets ready and everything, and she just fucking zaps him. Funniest fucking scene in Captain Marvel for me. Which a lot of scenes in Captain Marvel are amazing. I mean, I was even torn on my Nick Fury scene, because I really liked where he was interrogating her in front of the Radio Shack.
Right.
So, Captain Marvel, fucking love it. I think that's like top 2 for me, right behind Endgames.
Ooh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. Let's see here. You did Captain Marvel. I'm gonna go Ant-Man. Ant-Man was like, okay, I'm gonna go Ant-Man, which I'm not a big fan of Ant-Man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just not. But the one thing I really did love about Ant-Man, was the debut of Giant Man at the airport in Civil War.
Yes.
And that's one thing too. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of my scenes are from Civil War.
It's a great movie.
It is, but it's not in like my top 5.
Oh, interesting.
Right? Like, I mean, I love moments of it, but it's just like I can't get into that movie like I can with Infinity Wars, Endgames, the first Avenger, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, Civil War is just, it's pretty low on my list when it comes to like my top 20. But there's those small little moments that make me want to go back and watch it.
Right.
And, I mean, Ant-Man has a lot of great scenes from both Ant-Man and Wasp and everything, but, I mean, I guess the whole, Scott Lang in Civil War, like where they wake him up from being, from sleeping in the van and shit. Because they were in Germany, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, like, he wakes up and gets all, like, fucking, like, he marks out, and if you guys aren't wrestling fans, I'm sure you don't know what mark out means, but gets overly excited, at just meeting Captain America, and just turns around and sees, you know what, I'm changing my answer. I like the scene where he wakes up from the van, and, she's like, wow, Captain America, turns around and sees Hawkeye, he's like, oh yeah, I know you, you're cool too. That's my favorite scene. That's my favorite scene.
Yeah.
Because I love Paul Rudd, and he just really made it like fan freak out like moment for him. So loved that scene too. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm changing on the fly. That's my scene. The waking up from the van meeting Captain America.
Nice. What is mine gonna be? Oh man. There are so many great scenes with him. But I think I've gotta pick the one that is I believe it's at the beginning of Ant-Man 2. When he's hanging out with his daughter, and they're retelling the story of Ant-Man 1, through the maze, the labyrinth that they built her.
Yeah.
In his house. I just think that is just so wonderful. I love scenes where dads are in films, and I love where dads get to be, tender and nurturing. Cause that's the kind of dad I'm gonna be someday, right? I love seeing masculinity that is, much more gentle, and much more powerful for being so gentle masculinity in film. And Paul Rudd is, you know, he's got that baby face, and he's such a sweet human being. And he captures that tenderness so beautifully in that scene with his daughter. I think I gotta go with the beginning of Ant-Man 2 there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that magic trick he does with, with the mom and the stepdad. I just think that's hilarious.
Your turn to pick. Where are we going next? I think what we got. So we're doing Captain and Iron Man last. So we got Thor, Hawkeye, and Spider-Man left.
Gotcha. Let's do Spider-Man.
Okay.
Well, let's see if I have an actual answer for it though. Let's see, brain. I love Spider-Man. It was really exciting to me when I was sitting in the theater for Homecoming. It took so long for Spider-Man to come home. And I love that the hashtag for the longest time was hashtag Spidey come home. Mm-hmm. And then they decided to name the movie Homecoming. And I can remember sitting in the theater getting ready to watch it, and it started to play the ba-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I started crying because it was just like, oh my God, this is the music, you know, this is the thing.
It's childhood, you know,
it is.
It brings you back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I believe it's in Homecoming when he is just forever away. He's so far away from wherever he's supposed to be getting to. And he tries to sling his web, and he's like by a golf course. And so it doesn't catch anything, and he has to walk.
Yes.
There are so many great, you know, critiques of Spider-Man about how, like, what is he swinging from? What the hell? And I love that Marvel decided to address it with such humor, and I just love that moment. So,
yeah, absolutely. For me, I went with Spider-Man: Far From Home, and it was the final battle scene with Mysterio.
Ooh.
I think the biggest thing I liked was the cliffhanger they left on that pretty much the news, which no surprise. I mean, look at the news in current times. They just took one side of the story.
Oh yeah.
And pretty much Spider-Man left on the basis that he's a criminal. That he killed Mysterio, who Mysterio was perceived as the good guy, as, you know, the hero. So now, you know, you got this, you know, Spider-Man's a villain now in the eyes of everyone who saw that newscast. But I mean, the whole scene and the graphics and everything, and the animations and into that scene, loved it. I loved Mysterio. I think that was Jake Gyllenhaal.
Mm-hmm.
Did incredible fucking work. And it blows my mind how every time they come out with a new movie, they're able to pull in one new star to play a role.
Right? Yeah. Who doesn't want to be part of the MCU? I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So I also love how, to update him for 2020 or 2018, 2019, whatever year it was. It's been so long. To update him from a newspaper magnate to like a talk show host, talk radio host or whatever. That was brilliant move on the part of the Marvel studio. This Freakin' Show is brought to you by Audible.com. If you like to read as much as I do, if you enjoy a good book, head on over to audibletrial.com/freaknet. Maybe you don't like to read. Maybe you like to have things read to you. Head on over to audibletrial.com/freaknet and you will get a 30-day free trial plus your first credit toward a free book. I recommend during this time of extended staying at home to pick something longer, something really good, maybe something by Stephen King. Maybe check out The Stand or It or any of the Dark Tower books. Anything in that category, you're going to find something that's at least 30 to 40 hours long, which is going to get you through a whole week of listening. So head on over to audibletrial.com/freaknet today.
I'm really excited for the next Spider-Man movie to come out. I mean, any Marvel movie I'm excited to see. Obviously I'm really excited to see the Black Widow movie come out in November. That's something I've been looking forward to. Okay, let's go with Hawkeye.
Nice.
My favorite scene for Hawkeye was from Avengers Age of Ultron, and it was the scene where he was talking to Scarlet Witch, as she was like freaking out in the building and everything. He's like trying to tell her, listen, if you don't want to fight, that's fine, sit here, I'll go get your brother, he'll come get you. But if you want to get out there, you want to fight, you're gonna have to fight because I can't protect you out there. And I'm fighting robots with a bow and arrow.
Right.
You know, and so it's like, I love his small little like quips that he has like throughout all, like even the one scene, in Ultron, like where, Quicksilver, I'm assuming that's Quicksilver, right?
I think so.
He tells her, like, to keep up, old man, and runs off and everything, and he, like, points the arrow at him. It's like, I could do it and no one would know. It's like, no, I don't know what happened to him, we're all gonna miss him. Love Hawkeye. I really want Hawkeye to have, like, maybe not like a mainstream theater release, but like maybe a Disney Plus movie about him.
I think
would
he's
be
getting
nice.
I think he's getting a series.
I know WandaVision's happening, and I know Loki's happening. I know, Winter Soldier and Falcon's happening, but I didn't think Hawkeye was.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't know that it's been as, I'm gonna double check. But I don't think it's been as publicized yet. Cause it starts next year.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has to make an appearance in, well, maybe he won't make an appearance in Black Widow.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Because, well, Black Widow is based after, Winter Soldier. So it's supposed to be like,
I think it's in between Infinity War and Endgame, but I could be wrong.
I think it's between Winter Soldier and Civil War.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because I believe I was told it's supposed to be in the time frame of right after her releasing all the information from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So we're going with Thor next, right? That's the last.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta do my.
You gotta do Hawkeye. Look at me just jumping ahead, all willy-nilly.
I almost let you because it's so hard. I think it would be, gosh, I hate that I have to think this hard about it. I believe it's in Ultron where he has been, gosh, is it Ultron or is it the first Avengers movie? Where he's been taken over by Loki's scepter?
First Avengers movie.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, it's been a long time. In the first Avengers movie when he's been taken over by Loki's scepter and Black Widow brings him back to himself by talking about all of the good times and like their relationship. I love that there is a friendship between a man and a woman on film that's not romantic. And so I really enjoy that moment, and I really enjoy the way that their friendship plays into curing him of his, I'll call it Loki madness. I don't know if it's called that or not, but I like
that.
Yeah.
You called that. Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, and I like the running joke about Budapest.
Mm-hmm.
I want that answered though. I
sure would like to know what that is.
I want to see that scene. Thor. Thor's the next one before we hit the big two. So for Thor, my favorite was the gladiator scene from Ragnarok.
Oh, great answer.
Like, he's a friend from work. But yeah, I mean, it's like even beyond that, like after that, when, they're in the room together and like, him and like when Hulk starts talking, and stuff like that, like, and they get in that fight and when Banner comes back and like they're talking about the fight, Banner's like, who won? And Thor's like, oh, I did easily. And Banner's like, that doesn't sound right. It's like, no, that's what happened. But that whole gladiator scene, like when he sees him again, he gets all excited and he looks at Loki. He's like, look who it is. Look who it is. It's like, we've been looking everywhere for you. Where have you been? I just loved it. And then obviously that's where more of like, they call them like sparkly fingers or something like that.
Oh, uh-huh.
It's just, Ragnarok was my favorite Thor movie.
Oh, hands down. It's the best. I think it's in my top 2, maybe top 3 movies of the entire MCU.
Oh yeah. Fuck Dark World.
Right?
I get that they needed the story, but that's at the bottom for me.
I know. Easily.
And I know I did the ranking of the 20 because Endgames and Captain Marvel didn't come out yet, but me and Clint did the 1 through 20 ranking of the Marvel MCU movies. And I want to say Dark World was at the very bottom for me, but
oh yeah,
it was so long ago. But what's your Thor choice?
Oh man, it's hard to choose. I love so many Thor moments. But I really love, oh man, Ragnarok is my favorite Thor movie too. And I really want to pick something from it, but I loved him in Endgame. I loved Jeff Lebowski Thor. And, I love the moment when I think it is my favorite moment. It feels so lame to pick it, but, the moment when he gets Mjolnir again and realizes he's still worthy is so great.
Yeah.
I mean, what a great moment. And it's wonderful. And then I think going along with that, when he gets ready to fight Thanos for the last time, and he picks up Mjolnir and the Bifrost, transforms him into his armor and his beard is braided. Is just so fantastic. So those are my two runners up, but I think I'm going to go into Ragnarok when I think it's the moment when he realizes he doesn't need his hammer to do anything but focus his power. And he's speaking with Odin in the imagined afterlife. And Odin says, "Are you the god of hammers or the god of thunder?"
Yeah.
And he realizes he can summon the lightning without his hammer. It's just perfect. What a perfect scene. So that's the one I'm going to actually go with. But there's so many great ones in that movie.
I just re-looked at my list, and I don't think our Captain America matched. I think I picked something different than what you picked, because I believe I know what you picked, and I do.
Okay, you probably do.
If you allow me, I'd like to guess.
Oh yeah, please do.
Okay, so we'll do Captain America next. I'm gonna guess yours is when he takes control of Mjolnir.
Yep.
Okay. 100%. Go on, talk a little bit. Go on, talk about that scene a little bit.
Yeah. So I loved way back in, I think it's Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yep.
When they're playing around with the hammer, and Cap proves to himself that he can pick it up, but doesn't go far enough to do it because he doesn't want to embarrass anybody. is great. And it's sort of like the Chekhov's gun of the MCU. At some point he's going to pick up the hammer. And, I love when he picks it up and he throws it the first time and Thor is, "I knew it!" And, I love seeing him fight with the hammer and the shield, and he's throwing them and he's shooting lightning. It's badass. It's just so good. So yeah, that is my scene. It's so great.
And it was mine until I remembered a scene, that I loved, way more than anything, when I thought Captain America. But before I give you mine, I want to ask you real quick. So you said, when he was doing the hammer and Ultron, you believed he could have picked it up then, but he didn't want to?
Yeah, I do. I do believe that.
Okay. Cause I always thought up until this point that there was something that happened between that point and Endgames where he was in some way worthy, but not completely worthy of, holding Mjolnir, but something changed between then and Endgames to where, he became fully worthy. And I think what changed was the whole Civil War, move, the Civil War scene, like where he always did the bidding for somebody else, and then he finally decided to do things for him. He decided he wanted to do what he felt was right, not what other people was telling him was right.
I like that theory.
He wasn't so much a soldier for a government, for a country. He was a soldier for people. Nice. I think, and I believe that's what made him become worthy of holding Mjolnir, Mew Mew.
I like that. I like that a lot. Right, that's a solid theory.
It's a thinker. But my scene, my favorite scene was his introduction into Infinity Wars at the subway. When the train went past and he's just standing there in the shadow. And I can't remember, what the girl's name was.
I can't remember it either.
Yeah. Threw the spear pretty much and he just catches it, comes out of the shadow, bearded and everything. And the old Cap World War II, outfit and shit. That was my favorite. I mean, it was such a badass scene for them.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of bring back Cap after the whole Civil War thing. And I mean, the whole thing, even with Black Widow making her return and everything, I wasn't a big fan of the blonde, but, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm all about redheaded Black Widow. But... All right, man. Last one, Iron Man. This one I'm going to guess is the same, but what do you got?
I think we're going to be different. But I don't know what yours is going to be.
Right? You want to take a guess?
I'm going to get,
Yeah, take a guess. It's such an easy guess.
I know. I want to guess it's the snap.
It is.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Solid. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, let me talk about it.
Yeah, go for it.
This was probably the biggest moment of Tony Stark's Hulk. I mean, obviously, you want to look past him getting married to Pepper, having his daughter and everything. But he performed the ultimate sacrifice of pretty much giving his entire life to save a world that he spent years defending. He was able to snatch away all, as you talked earlier about Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird to think that Strange knew that was the only way they're going to win. So he had to have seen Stark die.
Right.
And the fact that, like, and Stark knew what was going to happen when he did it. He saw what happened to Hulk when it happened. I mean, he didn't see what happened to Thanos when Thanos did it.
Right.
But he was there when it happened to the Hulk. He saw how damaged the Hulk got. And nothing damages the Hulk.
Right.
So, I mean, the fact that he sat there and did it, he knew that nothing good was going to come from it. He wasn't going to survive that.
Right.
But he took the moment to find out if this is the only way we're going to win, this is the only way I can do it, I'm going to have to fucking do it.
Oh, for sure.
And he was able to snatch up the stones from Thanos, and snapped his fingers, and Iron Man became the hero that everyone always judged, what his ulterior motives, were, he sacrificed himself to save not only his friends, but the entire world and give his daughter an opportunity to live without the fear of Thanos or his entire army. Awesome.
For sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, and like the whole thing between him and Cap is, you're not Tony, you're not the guy who makes the sacrifice play.
Yeah.
And that's how he ends. I mean, so good.
Yeah.
For me, it's the same dialogue, but it's at the beginning. I love Iron Man. He is, oftentimes he and Hulk trade places between first and second for my favorite. And especially way back at the beginning of this MCU, I was going to be an engineer. I wanted to be like Tony Stark. I had all these dreams and ideas and ideals that, it just didn't pan out the way that I thought they would. But, sitting and seeing that in theaters and not knowing where everything was going to go, but being so excited about the possibilities and all of that. And to have him at the end of that first movie, he's eating a cheeseburger on the podium and he says, I'm Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I think I'm mixing the beginning and end of that movie up. I don't think he actually had a cheeseburger at this point, but
he had a cheeseburger when he came
back from Iraq or whatever, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The point is, when he first announces to the world that he's Iron Man, because he has absolutely no impulse control.
Yeah.
It's just so great. And it launches a series and to have it echoed at the end, I mean, it's just such a beautiful, what a great story arc from I am Iron Man to I am Iron Man. It's great. And what a great series of movies. And, what a perfect character to kick it off with. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And and our list just proved, because I think we only duplicated one, and it was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows you how many, and even the scenes we picked, which were different from each other, we still had like backup, scenes that we loved that were still even different from one to the other. So it shows you that not only were, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy, they had great individual movies, but even in other movies that span the MCU, it shows how great they really were.
Oh, for sure. And we didn't even get into what our favorite scenes from each movie are. These are just about the characters.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do this again with the remaining cast. I had fun doing this and talking about that, but
mm-hmm.
Like we said, there's Vision, Scarlet Witch, War Machine. So maybe we'll look into doing that down the road too. Because MCU's not going away anytime soon.
No, I agree. Phase 4, baby, coming up.
I do want to talk about the COVID stuff, because they kind of came out with the whole 5 phases to reopening Illinois. But we don't have time to do that this week because we are kind of getting towards the end of the show, so we'll push that off until next week. I do want to talk to you a little bit and get your input on it. The one thing I do want to ask your opinion on, just give me a brief couple sentences to where the Board of Education in Illinois states that schools will still be closed in the fall.
Oh, I didn't know about that. But I think that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe we gotta protect our students more than most areas of our society. And as hard as it is on students to be stuck at home, and as much as they're losing out on learning by, it's not as easy to learn at home, especially at ages when you're supposed to be learning how to be social. At the same time, I do think it's important to protect them because they're the future of our society. And if they all die, we're all fucked. I don't have a nicer way of saying that. Mm-hmm. So, no, it makes sense to me. I'd protect them. That's a good plan, I think. I don't know what the plan is. It might be a bad plan, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, no, as far as I know, the board of education stated that, the schools will be closed by fall. I don't know if this is set in stone or if this is a prediction on their part. I think it still has to be based month on month. It is only May right now. So we do got to see what it looks like in June and July and maybe even August. I think school's going to reopen in the fall, but I don't see it opening maybe until like the end of September, early October.
I can see that.
But I still think there's going to be school. I don't think it'll be cut off until winter time or the end of the year.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure by Halloween people are going to be trick-or-treating and stuff like that. But we'll dive into the phases and everything that popped up that I want to go over. We'll go over that next week. Let's close out the show. And Joey, tell me what you're freaking thinking about.
Oh man, what am I freaking thinking about? I am freaking thinking about, so I've been stuck doing remote worship since this whole thing has started.
Yeah.
And, I've, for the most part, I've enjoyed it. I miss seeing people. I really, really miss seeing people, but I'd rather, my congregants seem to be getting enough out of the virtual services and, regular phone calls that it's not so big of a deal. But I have been fixated a little bit on the things that I can control because so much is out of our control right now. And so I've been doing all kinds of research on microphones and, mixers and all this stuff. And I'm not going to buy anything yet because it's very expensive. But, I've been thinking and learning a lot about microphones to the point that like when microphones show up in YouTube videos and stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, that brand. Which is kind of fun. I'm becoming an amateur, microphone enthusiast and, it's interesting. I'm enjoying it. It's a fun hobby to learn about microphones and what kind of mic do you need for this application versus this application and how do you record an organ's music. It's fun. That's what I've been freaking thinking about is microphones. So what about you?
Well, I've been trying to figure out what we could do, as far as Freaknet Studios, YouTube videos during this whole pandemic thing. I know I got Dizzle J coming over tomorrow. Tomorrow I am full of podcasting stuff. Like I think projectedly we are doing a Podbean live tomorrow morning. We're going to try to at least do one tomorrow morning. And then following that, I got my Southland Championship Wrestling JFW Podbean Live Roundtable. That's about a 3-hour long thing I'm doing. Following that, we're going to do the JFW show, the podcast, which is going to be available on YouTube at Just Freakin' Wrestling. It's going to be available on audio only on iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, iTunes, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm trying to figure out if we could squeeze in a Freaknet Studios video to do. He's gonna be here anyways, and we haven't been able to release any content on the YouTube page in a while because of the pandemic and us not being able to get together. So I'm trying to figure out what we could do tomorrow, and it's very short notice. I should have thought about this further, but I'm trying to figure out what we could do. So hopefully we get that figured out and maybe get something uploaded onto the YouTube channel. Guys, if you aren't following Freaknet Studios on YouTube, make sure you do. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when videos do drop. All you gotta do is go to YouTube, search Freaknet Studios. It'll be available right there for you to check out. And again, when the shows pop up and everything, when the videos pop up, you'll know. Make sure you subscribe and everything. Follow Freaknet Studios. Make sure you follow Freaknet Studios on iTunes and Facebook at Freaknet Studios. Make sure you follow this freaking show on iTunes, Google Play. Oh God, my God, I'm fucking A. Follow this freaking show on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at this freaking show. And guys, why don't you tell us what your favorite scenes are from the Marvel movies? I'd love to see it. Get your responses and everything. So, just send us a comment on Twitter or Facebook. Use the hashtag freaking sane because that's still a thing. Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Every week our listeners can catch Cartoon Joe here on This Freakin' Show. But if an hour of Cartoon Joe just isn't enough for our viewers every single week, where can they go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Google Play, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Awesome. Guys, once again, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, This Freakin' Show. You can catch our show every single week on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and Podbean just by searching This Freakin' Show. Again, thank you to Audible and Ballwash for being sponsors of the show. Literally, we could not be here without the love and support of you, the listeners, but also our sponsors. Make sure you check out TeePublic, TeePublic.com, search TFS this coming Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the new This Freakin' Show logo that is going to be released on our merchandise. That's all I got. As always, I am Travis C.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freakin' Show. I'm out.